Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are going to be doing a rebuild with the Miami Heat. They didn't do much at the deadline. They ended up adding Kevin Love via the buyout market. This team was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They were a Jimmy Butler 3 away from going to the NBA Finals for the second time in 3 years. And things are looking a lot different this year. Now, we're going to make a lot of moves in today's video, but as of now, we're using start today. This team currently sits at 32-27. They're a 7 seed in the East, and we definitely have a lot of work to do today. So to be honest with you, I thought the Heat were going to be one of the most active teams at the deadline. I thought for sure Kyle Lowry was getting shipped out somewhere, and they didn't really do too much. I think they sent Dwayne Dedmon back to San Antonio where he got bought out, but Kevin Love was their real big addition at the deadline. That was obviously at the buyout market. So he's now here in Miami. I'm going to go ahead and start him. This is technically a Kevin Love Heat rebuild, but he's not going to be starting the entirety of the video. He's just too old and too low of an overall. But today, man, we are starting at the deadline, as I mentioned. We're going to see if we can kind of recuperate a little bit of this season, maybe make a little bit of a playoff push. But we're going to be doing 3 years after this with the obvious goal of getting the Miami Heat a championship. I know you guys always have a lot of great ideas, and of course I always want to hear them. Let me know those down below in the comment section. I am really enjoying getting back into rebuilds, and I hope you guys are enjoying them as well. So we're going to be getting into a really good schedule. We're going to be talking about it probably early next week. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this Heat rebuild today. Of course, you guys are new around here. Subscribe to the channel. Stick around a while. We'd love to have you. Let me know any other video ideas down below, man, and let's go see if we can get the Heat a championship. So there's really not a ton of moves that I'm able to really make here in the current moment because we are past the trade deadline. So I'll obviously go ahead and set the rotation, I think, the best way possible. But we will talk about this roster a little bit and kind of the way I see the future of this team kind of taking shape. So let's just start with the ugly, I guess. I mean, Kyle Lowry by no means has had a really good season. He is on the downward spiral of his career, and I think it's probably best for both sides, both in 2K and in real life, if they move on this offseason. That's not an easy task because he is making nearly $30 million. But here in 2K, it's not going to be too hard. So Kyle Lowry is gone after this season. You know, for me, it happens with age, obviously, but Kyle Lowry just isn't the answer anymore here at the point guard spot. We have Gabe Vincent as his backup. We'll see what ends up happening with that, but he is only 26. Tyler Hero is here on a 5-year, $125 million contract. He's only 23. He typically progresses really well in 2K, so I'll probably end up keeping him. Victor Oladipo re-signed with this team in the offseason. We have Jimmy Butler, best player on this team. I mean, you can get into the conversation of him or Bam. Bam's had a tremendous season so far, but Jimmy's here. He's 33. The annoying thing with Jimmy Butler is sometimes he regresses really hard in 2K and doesn't put up really good numbers at all. And I'm hoping that's not the situation today because I like Jimmy and I want to get Jimmy a championship because I really think he kind of deserves one. Max Strus is here, obviously decent shooter. He kind of torched my Celtics last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. Is he expiring after this season? He is expiring after this season. So that's something we're going to have to deal with. Duncan Robinson, I will take a bag of Fritos if anybody wants to take him off my hands. We have Kevin Love here, obviously came over in the buyout market after the Cavs did buy him out. He's 34 years old. He's a 76 overall. He really wasn't even playing with Cleveland. And yeah, we are going to go ahead and hope to maybe get Kevin Love another ring. We'll see. Caleb Martin and then Nikola Jovic. So obviously the power forward spot was maybe the weakest position on the court for the Miami Heat at the moment. I mean, Kevin Love comes in. You're not getting prime Kevin Love. I did see he's changing his jersey number back to 42 in those Timberwolves days where I still think he's one of the more underappreciated and really, he was so good in Minnesota. And I feel like people didn't really recognize that enough, just how good he was. Obviously, he had some great years in Cleveland, but those Minnesota days, that Kevin Love was, he was different, man. Bam Adebayo, one of the best centers in the league, man. He has had an unbelievable season this year, 21.5 points, 10 boards, 3 assists. I mean, he is just an impressive talent. We have Yurtseven behind him, Cody Zeller, Orlando Robinson, and then, good God. All right, we're going to get ahead, set this rotation, then sim the rest of year one. I've went ahead and finalized the rotation kind of the best way I see fit. 2K, funny enough, actually wants Tyler Hero to come off the bench and, you know, be a sixth man. He obviously did win Sixth Man of the Year last year. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start him because I think that makes the most sense for me. And, you know, he's averaging 20.5 points a game. I know 2K kind of wants, but I'm going to go ahead and do this a little bit of a different way. So we are going to go, he was only second team all-rookie in 2020. I don't know why I thought he was first team. Huh, interesting. Nonetheless, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, that's the backcourt. We have Jimmy Butler here starting at the small forward spot. Really no surprise there. We're giving Kevin Love the starting nod at power forward. I already mentioned that. He's probably not going to be starting there the entire video, but we'll figure out and see if we can come to some sort of agreement where he's still in the rotation. Then we do have Bam Adebayo here. Definitely going to need to continue to step up. He's been great this season. Hopefully go out and be one of the best players on this team, one of the best players in the East. The bench is okay. It's kind of mid, to be honest. Victor Oladipo, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, and Omer Yurtseven. By no means is it a great bench, but I guess it's doable for now. And, yeah, I guess that's it. And we currently are a 7 seed at 32-27. Let's see what happens. So we finish off year one with a record of 46-36. It's honestly not that bad. It's not a terrible second half of the season whatsoever. I'm hoping it's good enough to be in an actual playoff spot without being in a play-in spot. But obviously time will tell and we will see. Luka Doncic wins the MVP award. Probably not my number one candidate right now. If I had to take just a guess in what my gut says, I would say Jokic is well on his way to a third MVP. But we will see. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year. Malcolm Brogdon, Sixth Man. Joel Embiid wins Defensive Player of the Year. Alperen Şengün, Most Improved. Joe Mazzulla of the Boston Celtics, 59-23, takes that 1 seed over there in the East. Is your Coach of the Year. So we finished as a 5 seed. Okay, so we are in the playoffs without being in the play-in. We have a first-round matchup here with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are obviously a young and up-and-coming team, and I can tell you firsthand here in 2K, not too fun to play. Let's look at the numbers. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, both over 20 points a game. Hero was pretty close here at almost 20, 19.8. And then, the scoring falls off a cliff, obviously, but there's still some decent role players here, and I should have played Jovic. Why did I not play Nikola Jovic? That was idiotic on my part. He'll play next season. Bam led us in boards, and then Kyle Lowry led us in assists, and I know I could just go in here and change it, but let me check. Has Caleb Martin really been that bad? No, he's actually been pretty decent. I'll get Jovic playing time next season, I promise. And as mentioned, we have Cleveland here in round one, and they're a good team. I would not really be too surprised if they beat us, man. This is an extremely talented team. We end up losing game one. We do win game two. We lose game three. Down 3-1, and we're battling back a little bit, and that's all she wrote for us. That is officially all she wrote. We lose in round one. Wow, the Bucks lost to the Atlanta Hawks in 5 games. That's a bit of a surprise. But, wow, LeBron and the Lakers. Wow. Dude, can you imagine how bad the NBA would want this finals matchup just for ratings? Like, Celtics-Lakers, it doesn't get any more classic than that. Like, Lakers end up as a 4 seed, so they had a tremendous second half of their season. And they sweep the Mavericks. Wow. But, just for ratings-wise, I think the NBA would be in love with this matchup. Celtics go on to win in 6. Jason Tatum redeems himself from his tough finals performance last year and does win a finals MVP. Yes, I know he's injured. He was injured last year. Let's hit the draft lottery. I do not believe we even have our first-round draft pick this year. Not that it would be in the lottery anyways, but we can sim this. Wow, the Jazz end up with number 1 from the Timberwolves. Surprised that pick was so bad. Then they have the 7th overall pick as well. It's just their own. We do not. The Thunder have our draft pick this year, so we are unfortunately not going to be making a first-round draft pick. Eric Spoelstra is a very good head coach, in my opinion, so we're not going to be moving on from him. And let me just double-check here, make sure. Nope, no draft picks. I'll try to draft somebody eventually. I know I said in yesterday's video that I want to draft somebody because it's been a minute. We'll see. I'm going to bring back Haywood Highsmith simply for the point that I can probably get a draft pick for him, as weird as it sounds. Yurtseven, give him the qualifying. We'll see. We look at free agency right now. Did Kevin Love, retire? Thank God Udonis Haslem retired. I didn't even go over this. We have a pretty decently old team. Shit. Okay, well, the Kevin Love Miami Heat rebuild comes to an end. I could have, if I noticed in time, maybe I could have, overrode it, but for me, it doesn't really make sense to do that, man. I don't think Kevin Love has very many years left in him. He probably has more than just this final half of the season, but he calls it a career here in 2K, and Kevin Love rebuild lasts this season. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to go ahead. We're obviously going to complete this rebuild. It's still going to be called a Kevin Love rebuild, though. Let's get into some trades. We are sending Duncan Robinson and a second-round draft pick in 2024 to the Charlotte Hornets for a future first-round pick. Top 10 protected in 2025. Duncan Robinson should be seen as a negative asset, and I should by no means be able to get a first-round pick. I should have to give up a first-round pick to get rid of his contract, but 2K continues to, obviously not care about trade value whatsoever. So we get his contract off the books. That was obviously a huge priority, making $18 million this upcoming season. Wasn't even in the rotation. Just wasn't going to happen for me. The tricky part with Kyle Lowry is the fact that he has absolutely no trade value. He has 2 stars in trade value. And, these are some of the options I'm getting in terms of players. So I'm going to try my best to find something that can hopefully work out. I might have to package him with somebody, but this is going to take some work. I just gave up way too much to get Lonzo Ball, but you know what? He's young. I don't play with injuries on, and I needed a point guard. I tried to trade for so many pieces. I know how ugly this trade looks before I went and tried to trade for Lonzo Ball. I mean, I'll just go through the list of point guards I attempted to trade for before I went ahead and was able to get Lonzo Ball. I was thinking somewhat realistically in terms of 2K. I tried for Jalen Brunson. I did not try for Chris Paul. I tried for Jamal Murray. I tried for CJ McCollum. I tried for Jordan Poole. And then Fred VanVleet and D'Lo were options, but they're both free agents. Before I ended up landing on Lonzo Ball. And yeah, you know, at this point in time, Lonzo Ball, who knows what's going to happen with the rest of his career. He obviously has an injury right now that, according to a lot of doctors, has never been seen before. But he's here. He's 25 years old. And no matter which way you look at it, especially with injuries off, he's an upgrade over Kyle Lowry. So I know I give up literally every draft pick I have. And that is obviously not the best way to do things because this team does not have the greatest depth in the world at all right now. But yeah, man, we had to do something. Our free agents, I'm going to bring back both Strus. Jesus Christ, he wants a decent chunk of change. How much money do I have? I have like 10 million bucks. I mean, these options are just brutal. You know what? Hang with me for a second. Hang with me. If I sign Drummond, I don't have to renounce anybody there. Wait a minute. I actually might be able to do something. Hang on just a minute. I'm going to make sure Strus and Vincent don't get offers because obviously I want to bring them back. I got Andre Drummond back. Give me a second. I'll be back. I cannot believe that the Atlanta Hawks are willing to do this, but they're going to be going ahead and sending us John Collins and a second-round draft pick for Andre Drummond and Caleb Martin. I said I wanted to get Jovic minutes, and he will behind John Collins. I cannot believe that this is going through. But it's a power forward, and it's a desperate need for us right now, and John Collins is going to come in and hopefully fill that spot nicely. I'm hoping he can kind of revert back to close to his 2019-2020 season. But it'll be more likely probably like this year. But yeah, man, John Collins is an upgrade no matter which way you look at it. We officially have 6 players under contract, so we need to definitely make some moves. And I think those first 2 moves are bringing back Max Strus and hopefully bringing back Gabe Vincent as well. I don't think we're finding 2 better options on the market right now. Yeah, so we get both them back. What are my options now? Because I obviously have a backup point guard now. I have a backup small forward. Maybe I move Strus, or maybe I just move him to the shooting guard spot. That actually might just be a better idea. Decent shooter. Oh, God, he goes down 2 overalls. You know what? If I can get a better player for him, I might do it. Just because I think we're going to go 9-man rotation. I'm not going to give Jimmy a backup. And I think that might actually be the best way to do it. Or I'll just take a draft pick, because we definitely need to reload on those. Nothing in terms of draft picks I'm seeing, so I don't really want Luke Kennard. This is brutal. Fournier sucks. Oh my god. All right, Andrew Nembhard. You know what? Yeah, give me Andrew Nembhard. Still young on a rookie contract, can maybe make him, you know, can progress. I think that would be the best way to kind of phrase that. We need to find ourselves a backup center. I understand that this bench still sucks, but it's what we got right now. And oh my god. Dwayne Dedmon's going to be like a 70 overall by the time we start next season. Oladipo and Yurtseven are unfortunately gone. I just wasn't able to re-sign them. Let me just double check on that. Yurtseven's gone, correct? Yeah, okay, he's not, but... Was he restricted? Wait a minute. If he was restricted, that's huge for me. Oh, he's restricted. I can bring him back no matter what. Get out of here, Dwayne Dedmon. Okay, Oladipo's gone. That's fine. Yurtseven's restricted, so he's going to come back. I will see you guys at the start of, year 2. I'm honestly pleasantly surprised with the way this team kind of came out here in year number 2. Now, I don't love the trade I made for Lonzo, but I needed a point guard, and I did what I had to do in order to get one here. So obviously playing with injuries off is huge. Means Lonzo's going to go ahead and play a full 82-game season. Getting the addition of John Collins as well was really good move in my opinion. We barely gave up anything for him. And yeah, man, this is the new look Miami Heat team. So it's Lonzo Ball, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, John Collins, and Bam Adebayo. Pretty decent starting 5. Now the bench didn't get that much better. It might have even gotten worse, depending which way you want to look at it. Andrew Nembhard, Omer Yurtseven, Nikola Jovic, and Gabe Vincent. So it's an interesting bench unit, man. We are going a 9-man rotation, as I mentioned. I'm excited to see how this team does. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. We wrapped up year 2 with a record of 55-27. That is a much better record than we had last year. Well, it's not crazy better, but you understand what I'm saying, and I'm feeling really good about this season. Obviously, we hope it translates to the playoffs because the regular season really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I need playoff Jimmy Butler, and I need him activated. Ja Morant wins his first career MVP, had a hell of a season. Victor Wembanyama wins Rookie of the Year, went #1 overall to the Utah Jazz. Brogdon, second straight Sixth Man of the Year. Nick Claxton wins Defensive Player of the Year. Garland, Most Improved. Doc Rivers wins Coach of the Year. Okay, let's take a look at the standings. We were, tied with the Philadelphia 76ers. They had the tiebreaker on us, obviously, but I will take the 2 seed. How are the Bucks 41 and 40? God, this game makes no sense. Oh, good God. All right, Lakers 1 seed over there in the West. Let's take a look at the numbers on the year. It was Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, John Collins, Lonzo Ball. So Lonzo obviously isn't really out here to score, but 8.5 assists a game is beautiful, along with 5 boards for a point guard. That's can't really beat it. All right, let's get into the playoffs. We have to sim the play and see who we have, and it's going to be the Detroit Pistons. 76ers and Bucks at round 1 is a crazy matchup. Pistons, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Cameron Whitmore, they added to their team. Miles Bridges, who is back in the league, and Jalen Duren. Yeah, it's a talented squad. It's a young, up-and-coming team, and I still think we're better, but that's not a team that I really am loving playing in the first round, and we win in 5. Okay, cool. Atlanta Hawks here in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, AJ Griffin starting now, Sadiq Bey, and Onyeka Okongwu. They have Hunter coming off the bench, Brook Lopez, and Andre Drummond, who I traded over there, obviously, to get John Collins. And let's see what happens. We lose the first 2 games on our home floor. We also lose Game 3. And the Atlanta Hawks just kick the living shit out of us and sweep us out of our own building. Lakers heading back to the finals with 39-year-old LeBron. He's taking on his old team over there in Cleveland. And the Cavs sweep him. And Darius Garland wins finals MVP. All right, so we still have 2 more seasons, as always, in these kind of rebuilds where I start at the deadline. I'm doing 3 full seasons. Retirements, Iggy calls it a career. CP3 calls it a career. Goes out as CP0 rings. Trevor Ariza, Batum, Rondo. God, man, it sucks to see how many great and realize honestly, both in real life. I mean, just how many great players we're going to be losing in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years. I mean, it really sucks. It really does. Let's sim the lottery. The Dallas Mavericks were bad enough with Luka Doncic to end up with the #1 overall pick. Staff signing, Spo's not going anywhere. I still think he's a good head coach. My sentiment on that does not change. Let's head up to the NBA draft where we don't have any draft picks. I'm sorry, I wanted to draft somebody today, but it's just kind of the way things fell. Jovic is definitely coming back. Why would I not pick up his $2 million team option? Lonzo declines his option. I knew he was a free agent when I went ahead and traded for him. I want to make sure I get him back because obviously he's a... Do I not have... Are you serious? Oh, this game is going to kill me if there's no way it doesn't let me... Okay, thank God it's let me bring back Lonzo. I was going to lose my mind if this game did not let me bring back Lonzo Ball. I really was. We get Lonzo back. Yurtsvin's somebody I'd like to bring back as well, but he is restricted, so it's probably going to be another qualifying offer situation. But thank God I got Lonzo back. In terms of other free agents that I'd be interested in going after, could look for an upgrade at the backup point guard spot. I'm still comfortable with Jovic. I think he's still going to progress. So maybe let's look at some backup point guard options. Cameron Payne's not terrible. Not a horrible option. How did he do last year? 6 points. But, I mean, 2022-23 and 21-22, he was actually pretty decent. Could bring back 38-year-old Kyle Lowry, how did he play last year? Oh, good Lord. Yeah, man. I think for me right now, I think somebody like Cameron Payne, A- 3-point shot, would honestly be an upgrade over Gabe Vincent. And I can go ahead and maybe get a draft pick or 2 and trade Gabe Vincent. So we get that done. Cameron Payne officially signs here. Gabe Vincent, I appreciate your time here. But unfortunately, we're going to take another draft pick from the Charlotte Hornets because I need to reload on some of those. I'll wait on Yurtsvin. That's going to be our only kind of major moves this offseason. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. We are heading into year 3. It is not the final season. We are obviously going to be doing one more year after this, but I like this team a lot, man. I think we've made some tweaks to the bench, especially. Hopefully going to help us along with progression on some of these players like Lonzo Ball. You see Heroes overall is going up. Collins overall is even going up. I'm feeling pretty good right now, man. So let's see what happens. It's Lonzo Ball, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, John Collins, Bam Adebayo. Nothing the starting 5 changes. It does suck to see Jimmy's overall going down a little bit, but his play and his numbers aren't really changing. So I'm still fine with that. He is 35, but we will see. Unless he has a terrible year this year, he's probably here the remainder of the video. I'm giving Jovic the 6-man spot. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Jovic, I think so. Because you know what? I want him to progress. I think he could be a really key piece of this bench, and I want him to get the most minutes possible. Followed by Andrew Nembhard, Cameron Payne, and Omer Yurtsvin. It's a 9-man rotation, man. That's typically what I have the most success with. We were a 2 seed last year. Got our teeth kicked in by the Hawks. Hoping to change that this year. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. We go 57-25 to wrap up our 3rd season here in Miami. We have Darius Garland winning the MVP award. or a year after I believe he won a Finals MVP award. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Isaiah Collier wins Rookie of the Year in Chicago. Brandon Miller, Sixth Man of the Year, is in San Antonio. This dude has been balling out in college right now. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Wow. Still in LA, but in a different uniform. Makes his way over to the Los Angeles Clippers. Ozzy Thompson, Most Improved. J.B. Bickerstaff, Jesus fucking Christ. 68-14 for the Cavs. Oh, man, that's not going to be fun. That is not going to be fun. Wow, the Houston Rockets take the 1 seed over there in the West. This is going to be a challenging playoff run. Because obviously, at a minimum, if we're going to see the Cavs as a 2 seed, it's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. We still have to get there, but man, oh man, that's not a fun team to face. Who we got here in round 1? Let's test it out. We have the 7-seeded Charlotte Hornets. It's LaMelo Ball, Ozzy Thompson, DeAndre Hunter, Chris Murray. Okay, so they made some additions, even James Wiseman. I don't know if, to be honest, we can really be, like, I'm not worried about the Hornets, but, like, I'm worried a little bit about some of these other teams. We end up winning that one in 5. Oh, shit. This is what I'm worried about. We got swept out of our own building last year by the Atlanta Hawks, and we're taking them on again here. And added Buddy Hield, it's another really good shooter next to Trae Young. Sadiq Bey. They Scary Terry off the bench. I saw that as well. Oh, man. At least we won a game against them. Okay, we're up 2-1. 2-2, so we have a best of 3 now. We go up 3-2, and we close them out in 6 in... Oh, I don't know why I thought the Cavs lost. I didn't process that for a second. But yeah, we have the 68-win Cleveland. Jesus Christ. What am I supposed to do with this? We win game 1. Okay, don't do this. 2K. I swear to God, if I blow a 3-0 lead, I'm never playing this game again. Okay, we're in the NBA Finals. We sweep the Cavs somehow. I have no idea how. And we're taking out Scoot Henderson, who I'm assuming went number 2 overall. Scoot Henderson fell to 6 in the 2023 NBA Draft. 2K is out here bugging. Bam Adebayo wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. We got Houston here. It's Scoot Henderson, Jalen Green. That is one explosive backcourt. Kenyon Martin Jr., Jabari Smith Jr., and Şengün. They have Fultz off the bench. Dude, I saw a tweet the other day. Sorry to go off topic. I know I do this and ramble a lot. I saw a tweet. It was just like a clip and like a montage of like Markelle Fultz's college highlights. And when I tell you, because when the Celtics landed that number 1 overall pick in the lottery in the 2017 NBA Draft, I have never in my life been almost 100% sold on a prospect more than I was on Markelle Fultz. Now, I will never, ever stop appreciating Danny Ainge for trading down. Obviously, he wanted to take Tatum anyways, but that's what he says. But obviously, his plan worked out, and Tatum's become an MVP candidate. Markelle Fultz, albeit has bounced back a little bit, especially in Orlando, just was never worth a number 1 overall pick, man. I don't understand how some of these guys do it. I really don't. But that Markelle Fultz college hoop mixtape was unbelievable. I mean, he looked like a for sure superstar in this league. And I was wrong. I think a lot of people agreed with me on that one. Let me know your thoughts on Markelle Fultz. Or as a matter of fact, let me know any prospect that you watched in college or in the G League, whatever it may be, you thought for sure was going to be a slam dunk, home run pick, ended up just not really ever panning out to his full potential. Let me know that down below in the comment section. I'm interested. We're going to lose game 4 here in Houston. We are up 3-1. I'm not terribly nervous, at least not yet. We're going back to Miami, try to close them out. Hopefully get Jimmy Butler a championship, man. I really want to get him one here. So it'd be cool if we could do it. Looks like we're going to be winning this one. I will get a little bit of gameplay because not every day I get to use Jimmy and Bam and everybody like that. So we've scored 146 points so far. I'll see you guys in there. I'm honestly, even the Celtics fan in me, especially, even though it's only here in 2K, is super happy that Jimmy Butler is getting a championship. Man, he's 31-6-9. I mean, if there is a guy who ups his game in the playoffs, it's Jimmy Butler. I mean, Jimmy Butler is such an underappreciated asset. Playoff Jimmy is just completely different, man. And yeah, man, he's never fun to go against in the playoffs. I can tell you that from firsthand experience. When I tell you I will always remember where I was watching Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals last year. I was sitting there. I had the game getting streamed. It was getting streamed on a projector. We were sitting outside. Had a fire going and everything. I remember sitting there, literally like my heart sank. I saw him go up for that shot, and I was like, there's no way this isn't going in. Like, there's just no way. I thought the Celtics were about to historically choke that lead. And, he ended up missing the shot. But to be honest with you, man, he's the majority of the reason why the Heat were even in that situation. I don't think that's necessarily a bad shot. Could he have gone for the tie and maybe sent it to overtime? Sure. Who knows what would have happened in overtime. And he obviously has to hit a shot first. But for me, man, he was going for the win. the way he was playing that series, I thought that he was for sure going in. Ended up not, and obviously Miami lost Game 7, but God, that was such a fun series. Those are some of the best moments of like early summer for me last year, man. It was literally like right after I graduated. It was such a good time. And yeah, man. Hoping to have that again this year, though. I mean, it was awesome. I loved watching the playoffs last year. I miss playoff basketball. There's just nothing like it. Actually, the NBA comes back today after the All-Star break, and I have missed it. I've had like nothing to do on my nights because I've actually been watching a decent amount of college basketball, but like, it just doesn't hit the same for me, man. NBA is just, it's my thing, man. I'll never get sick of it. I really won't. Let's go see Jimmy Butler kick it out. Cameron Payne. I've taken like every single shot with Jimmy Jovic for 3. Stroke that thing, cuzzo. He misses it. All right, we're going to go ahead. I apologize for saying that. It won't happen again. Final defensive possession. Then I'm going to do an offensive possession. I don't know what the hell Markelle Fultz is doing there. Nikola Jovic, I'm hitting a 3. Transition. Oh, shoot. I will see you guys with the finals MVP. Hoping it's Jimmy. We end up beating the Houston Rockets in 5 games, winning a championship, getting Jimmy his first, Bam his first, our entire starting 5. Their first championships. Bam Adebayo actually wins finals MVP. It's not that big of a deal. I think Jimmy would rather take the championship. We still have 1 more year to go. Obviously, a little bit of that, pressure and that, that monkey's off our shoulders a little bit. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and head into this final season. The Thunder, the Bulls, the Rockets, the Warriors, and the Lakers are your top 5 picks. Yeah, man. Not really much else to do. I want to make sure that Eric Spoelstra's still under contract, and he is. Let's head up to the draft. I don't think we're going to have any draft picks this year. Unfortunately, we do not. Another rebuild without me drafting anybody. I promise, when I do a team that obviously is not as good and has some draft picks, I will do it. I promise. This is like the 3rd or 4th straight year that Yurtsman had a qualifying offer. I'm not even sure how that's possible. Like, I have to assume that 2K is just like kind of bugging out at this point. I got to bring back John Collins. I'm just going to give Yurtsman a qualifying. I mean, we're really not changing much about this team, so there's really no reason not to. Because it is the final year. All right, Yurtsman's coming back in a qualifying. We get John Collins back. I don't think there's really anything else to do. I mean, maybe I want to make an upgrade somewhere. You know what? I'll make an upgrade at the backup point guard spot. Cameron Payne might regress a little bit, and it's the final season, so why the hell not? Ooh, Terrence Mann. I like Terrence Mann a lot. Welcome to the team, Terrence. I don't think there's probably any other upgrades I can make. I mean, unless I'm packaging, like, I don't know. If I do Cameron Payne, Yurtsman, and a first. Wow, I actually have a lot of draft picks now. Okay, Malik Monk's here. Would I prefer him over Andrew Nembhard? I mean, probably. You know what? Yeah, give me Malik Monk. Give me Malik Monk. I like Malik Monk, and he's going to be my new backup shooting guard. Nembhard wasn't bad for us, but I think Malik Monk's a clear upgrade. Now Nembhard and hopefully 2 draft picks, just going to find myself a new backup center. And we will officially head into the final season here in Miami. Zach Collins, 6-6 isn't terrible. I mean, maybe like somebody a little bit better, but yeah, man, our options are pretty limited. Oh, Pat Connaughton, he's a Boston guy. Obviously, me being from the area. Aaron Brad, I don't know who you are. All right, Zach Collins, only 27. He's still only 27. I will see you guys at the start of the 4th, I guess, in final season. After defeating the Houston Rockets in 5 games in the NBA Finals, we are running it back for our 4th and final season. We make 0 changes in terms of our starting 5. Our bench changes up a little bit, but the core of this team is still here. We want to go out and win another one. It's Lonzo Ball, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, John Collins, and Bam Adebayo. The bench unit here, we have Malik Monk, Nikola Jovic, Zach Collins, and Terrence Mann. The bench has definitely gotten better throughout this video. Obviously, the starting 5 has as well. We're looking for championship number 2. I'll see you guys at the end of year 4. Our final season ends with a record of 54-28. By no means is it a great record. I mean, it's a good record. Don't get me wrong, but I was hoping to be closer to 60 games than that. But 54 wins, obviously in the playoffs, probably one of the top seeds. Hopefully getting another championship. Darius Garland, I believe this is his 2nd MVP of this video. Nasir Cunningham, Rookie of the Year. Matas Buzela, 6th man. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year for the 2nd straight year. I believe Nick Smith Jr., most improved. Oh my Jesus. He went from not playing a minute in year 1 as a number 10 overall pick to 18 points in year 2 to 27 almost in year 3. That's insane. Steven Salas wins Coach of the Year as the Rockets win 62 games, assuming they took the 1 seed over there, and they did. We end up as a 2 seed here. We're 4 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, what did we sweep them last year, I think? In the Eastern Conference Finals. Interesting. It's sad to see Jimmy's numbers going down a little bit, especially in the points department. But hey, man, it looks like some of the pressure's getting taken off him a little bit. So we will see what ends up happening here in the playoffs. I need playoff Jimmy to come alive. We have Charlotte here in round 1. LaMelo, Aldridge Thompson. They added Markin in their team. They definitely got a little bit better. I just think we're still way better at this point. Okay. All right. I guess I got a little too ahead of myself. Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets, man. Charlotte Hornets. Cavs going to win. I think this is their second finals of the video. Darius Garland ends the video with 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, and 2 regular season MVPs. 2K. All right, man. Well, obviously that final year did not go the way we wanted it to go, but nonetheless, getting a championship, especially for Jimmy, was something I really wanted to do in this video, and obviously being able to accomplish that goal, it feels really good, and I'm really happy with the outcome of this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. I know this was technically a Kevin Love Miami Heat rebuild, and he was here for half a season before he decided to call it a career. I'm telling you, I would have brought him back. That was my plan for as many years as he was, a viable player in this league, but yeah, I guess he had other plans and didn't want to, go out and help the team. But it is what it is, man. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. That'd obviously be awesome. Let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I'm always open to any ideas you guys do have. And yeah, you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe. If you're, coming back to the channel, whatever it may be, we'd love to have you around here. Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for all the support recently. The support has been unbelievable since, I've been back kind of in the swing of things, uploading nearly daily. So I've really enjoyed my, my time so far, and yeah, man, I'm looking forward to what the future holds for us here on this channel and this community. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.